All right, everyone get ready because today we are going deep into the world of twins.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, everyone wants to know about the odds of having twins
Right.
and like
Yeah.
what things might make those odds go up or down.
Hmm.
We got a great YouTube video for this one from May.
Okay.
She's a mom of twins.
Awesome.
And she like breaks down all the science and has all these like crazy personal stories in there too.
Oh, I love a good personal story with the science.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So May, she was like set on having twins, and guess what?
She had twins.
She did.
That's awesome.
But she's also really into like all the science behind it.
Okay.
So let's start there. What are the chances of just having twins naturally?
Okay, so you're just letting nature do its thing?
Totally like what are we even talking about here?
All right, well, May explains that there are two main types of twins,
Okay.
identical and fraternal.
Okay.
So identical twins happen when a single fertilized egg splits.
Oh, wow.
So it's like one becomes two.
That is wild.
And then fraternal twins develop from two separate eggs
Okay.
that were each fertilized by different sperm.
Gotcha.
Two different sperm.
Two eggs, two sperm.
Yes.
Okay, so two completely separate
Totally separate.
processes, basically.
Yeah.
And get this, May says that only about 3 out of every 1,000 births
Wow.
are identical twins.
That's so rare.
That is less than 0.5%.
Yeah.
It's like winning some crazy lottery.
It really is. And what's even more wild is even with all of our scientific knowledge, we don't totally know why that egg splits sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a total mystery. Like,
But-
how does it decide?
Yeah, like what is the deciding factor there?
Exactly. It's a true mystery of human development.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so then fraternal twins,
Okay.
May points out that there's all this stuff that can affect those odds.
Right.
Which makes it harder to give a precise number,
Totally.
which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So what is like the general...
Well, overall, the spontaneous twin birth rate is about 1.4%. But with fraternal twins, that rate can be all over the place
Yeah, that makes sense.
because it's influenced by things like your genetics, your family history, and even the mother's age.
They have a lot of different factors.
It is a lot of different factors.
Okay, so let's like break this down.
Okay, let's break it down.
So May has this list of what she calls uncontrollable factors
Okay.
that can up your chances of having fraternal twins.
Gotcha.
And like some of these are so wild. I'm like, what?
Okay, I'm ready. What do we have?
So first we have race.
Race. Okay.
So May's research says that people of African descent
Okay.
have the highest chance
Okay.
of having fraternal twins.
Interesting.
And then it's followed by Caucasians
Okay.
and then Asians.
Gotcha. So like a gradient.
Yeah, like a sliding scale.
Yeah.
So I'm already curious about this. Like, why would that be?
Well, I think that's a really good question, and it kind of hints at this interplay between, like, evolution and environment. Over time, different populations may have just developed these different tendencies for releasing multiple eggs.
Okay, so it's almost like an evolutionary advantage in some places.
It's nature's way of hedging its bets.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's the height factor,
Height, oh boy.
which I was like,
Oh,
wow,
no.
this totally blew my mind.
Okay.
Apparently, women over 5'5" are more likely to have fraternal twins.
Wow.
I'm only 5'2", so I guess I'm out of luck.
Well, don't lose all hope. But it is a very surprising correlation, right?
Totally.
Like, you wouldn't think height would play a role.
I know, it's like, that is so random.
But it's possible that there's a link between certain growth hormones
Okay,
and how the ovaries function, but it's definitely an area that needs more research.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of things that might boost those odds,
Okay.
May brings up weight.
Weight. Okay.
So a higher BMI
Mm-hmm.
is linked to a higher chance of having fraternal twins.
Which makes sense if you think about the hormones.
Right, exactly, because like estrogen plays a big role in ovulation,
Exactly.
and that's produced in fat tissue.
Yes. So a higher BMI could mean higher estrogen levels,
Oh.
which could lead to more chances for like a double ovulation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the last one
Right.
on the uncontrollable list, and we've all heard this one.
Let's hear it.
Women over 35
Ah, the classic.
are more likely to have twins.
Right.
But is that like an old wives' tale or what?
It is definitely not just a tale.
Oh.
As women get closer to menopause,
Okay.
their hormones can get a little unpredictable,
Right.
which can sometimes lead to multiple eggs being released.
Ah, okay.
Hence the higher chances of twins. It's
Yeah.
like nature's grand finale
That's funny.
before calling it a day on baby making.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now hold on your hats because this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm ready.
Mai also talks about controllable factors that might bump up those twin odds.
Controllable.
Some are like pretty mainstream, but others are, let's say, less conventional.
I love a good controversial topic.
Exactly.
Say it on me.
All right, so first up we have yams.
Yams.
I know, right? It's like, what? In Nigeria, where they eat a ton of yams,
Okay.
there's a high rate of twins.
So what's the connection there?
Right, like what is going on?
What is going on with the yams?
So it turns out yams have these things called phytoestrogens,
Bioestrogens.
which are plant compounds that can kind of mimic estrogen in the body.
Interesting.
So there's no like concrete proof or anything,
Uh-huh.
but some people think that these phytoestrogens
Yeah.
might nudge ovulation in a way that makes you more likely to have twins.
Interesting.
But we need like way more research before everyone starts stocking up on yams thinking they're going to have twins.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out and buy all the yams just yet.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it's interesting to think about, right? Like
Okay.
how these different foods could potentially play a role.
Totally. So then there's dairy.
Dairy.
So May mentions this study that found women who drink more dairy were 5 times
5 times.
more likely to have twins.
Wow. That's a big jump.
I know. I was like, is that even possible?
Right, 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's important to remember that just because two things happen together doesn't mean that one causes the other.
Right. Correlation doesn't equal causation,
Exactly.
but there could be like a hormonal thing going on.
It's possible.
So dairy has hormones from cows,
Mm-hmm.
naturally.
No.
And some research suggests that those hormones
Yeah.
might mess with human ovulation.
Okay.
But again, more studies needed.
More studies are always needed.
Always.
Always.
Okay. And then there's folic acid,
Folic acid. Okay.
which is a vitamin that tons of women take during pregnancy.
Right. Yeah.
But is there really a connection between folic acid and twins?
So folic acid, that's vital for healthy fetal development.
Right.
Especially in preventing neural tube defects.
Right.
That part we know for sure. But this whole idea that it could increase the odds of multiple ovulation,
Yeah.
that's still pretty speculative.
Okay.
We just don't have the evidence to back it up yet.
So it's a maybe.
Yeah, maybe, maybe not.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Okay, hit me.
This one blew my mind.
Okay.
May says that breastfeeding might increase your chances of having twins
Well,
by 9 times.
9 times.
I know. I had to rewind the video
Oh my God.
because I was like, did she just say 9 times?
9 times. That's wild.
I know. So is there like any truth to that?
Okay, so while it might sound completely bonkers, there could be an explanation.
Okay.
Listening. So breastfeeding can suppress ovulation,
Okay.
but it's not foolproof contraception.
Oh,
Right? And guess what?
What?
Hormonal fluctuations during breastfeeding can lead to
Multiples.
the release of multiple eggs.
Wow.
So there's like this little window where it's possible,
Oh, I see.
but it's still pretty rare.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least,
All right, the big one.
we have fertility treatments.
Yes.
So May didn't do this,
Right, okay.
but she knows people who have.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is that a guaranteed way to get twins?
Well, fertility treatments are really the one area where we see like a very clear, deliberate attempt to increase the chance of twins.
Okay.
Fertility meds and IVF, they often involve stimulating the ovaries to release multiple eggs,
Right.
which can lead to multiple pregnancies,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not something to take lightly.
Right, because there are a lot more risks with a multiple pregnancy.
Exactly. There's increased risks, and it requires a lot of careful planning and monitoring from your doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot.
We've covered a lot.
We've gone from the science of how twins are formed
Mm-hmm.
to like crazy theories about yams and breastfeeding.
It's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
And I think it just shows how much we still don't know
It really does.
about this whole twinning thing.
Yeah, we know some basics,
Mhm.
but there's so many questions.
So many questions.
Especially about those identical twins.
Yeah, what is going on there?
It's a mystery.
A total mystery.
I know, it makes you think like we can map the whole human genome, send rockets into space, but we're still like stumped by an egg splitting in two.
It really is wild.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what makes it so fascinating, right?
Right.
Like there's the science part,
Mm-hmm.
but then there are these really personal human stories too.
Right, like May's story.
Exactly. Like she really wanted twins.
Yeah,
And she like put it out there
totally.
and she got them.
Yeah.
She even joked that like maybe her manifesting
Mm.
added like 0.00001% to the
And
odds.
a little boost.
Right. But I love that she acknowledges that like obviously there's no science behind that.
Yeah, there's no scientific evidence to support that.
But it just shows how much people like want answers.
Right. They want an explanation.
Yeah, and like a sense of control
Totally.
over something that's totally unpredictable,
Absolutely.
like pregnancy.
Yeah, it's like we want there to be a secret formula.
Mm-hmm.
But biology, it just doesn't work like that.
That's messy.
Yeah, it's messy. It's full of surprises,
Exactly.
which is kind of fun, right?
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of those personal stories,
Okay.
May talks about all the crazy questions that people ask her
Oh, yeah.
about being a twin mom.
It seems like twin parents get bombarded.
They do. They get hit with so many questions.
All the questions.
It's like once you have twins, everybody's a twin expert
Right.
and wants to know everything.
Like every little detail?
Yeah, it must be a little overwhelming.
I would think so.
Yeah. Have you ever heard any, like, particularly wild twin questions?
Oh my gosh, tons.
Yeah.
People are always asking me if my kids
Mm-hmm.
can like read each other's minds
Oh, the classic telepathy question.
or if they feel each other's pain.
Oh, yeah, like they're connected.
It's like people think twins are straight out of a movie.
I know, it's like a sci-fi movie or something.
Hopefully.
Yeah, people forget that twins are individuals.
Huh?
You know, they're their own people, even though they share this super special bond.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think this fascination with twins really comes from this age-old nature versus nurture debate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, are twins similar because of their genes or because they grew up in the same environment?
Right.
It's a question that has been around for centuries.
It really is. And it's like we get to see it
Yeah.
play out in real life.
Yeah, it's like a living, breathing science experiment.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But even with all the research and all the theories, there's always going to be this element of mystery
It will always be.
and wonder
Yes.
surrounding twins.
Totally. And I think that's part of what makes this whole topic so captivating.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that even in this age of like incredible scientific advancement, we still don't understand everything.
Right. Like we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, and there are these mysteries that spark our curiosity
Totally.
and our imagination.
Yeah, it's like the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
That's a good way to put it.
So for wrapping things up here,
Okay.
what are like the key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with?
Okay, so the big takeaway is that twin pregnancies are kind of an enigma.
Yeah.
You know, we've learned a lot about the types of twins,
Okay.
the things that increase the odds, the things that decrease the odds, and of course, like that incredible bond that twins share.
Right.
But we still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, and even the stuff we think we know is constantly being challenged
Right.
as we get new research.
As science progresses.
Yeah, exactly. It's a constantly evolving field.
And that's what keeps it so exciting.
It is, yeah. And it's important to remember that every twin pregnancy is unique,
Yeah.
just like every person is unique.
Makes sense.
There's no easy answer.
No secret formula?
No secret formula.
No.
No.
It's a journey
Yeah,
filled with wonder challenges
for sure.
and a really amazing bond.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who's expecting twins or raising twins or just like obsessed with twins, yeah.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah. Tell us your stories.
Yeah.
What are your experiences?
What are the craziest questions you've been asked?
Yes. What are the unique joys and challenges you've faced?
Exactly. Your stories can help us understand this whole thing even better.
Totally. And maybe it'll even inspire our next deep dive.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you've got the science, you've got the stories, and you've got a whole lot of unanswered questions.
It's all part of the fun.
But isn't that the beauty of it all?
It is. It really is. It reminds us that knowledge isn't just about having all the answers.
Mhm.
It's about embracing the mystery, the unknown,
Yeah.
and all the possibilities of human experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that even with all the advancements we've made in science, there's still this sense of like awe and wonder when it comes to twins.
Totally. I mean, we can analyze DNA, we can track ovulation, we can even like manipulate embryos, but there's still something kind of magical about this idea of two individuals sharing such a deep connection from the very beginning.
It's like they have this secret, a key to understanding something really important about what it means to be human
Right.
that we just haven't quite figured out yet.
And I think that's what makes studying twins so fascinating.
Totally.
They give us this unique perspective on how genes and environment and just pure chance all come together.
And it's not just scientists who are obsessed with twins, right?
No, definitely not.
Think about all the myths and stories that we have about twins throughout history,
Oh, yeah.
like Romulus and Remus,
Mm-hmm.
the Weasley twins from Harry Potter.
Yes.
It's like they capture our imagination in a way that nothing else really does.
Totally. They represent this duality.
Okay.
like a mirror image of ourselves.
Interesting.
A reminder that even as individuals,
Yeah.
we all have this potential for connection
Yeah.
and shared experience that goes beyond anything we can like fully understand.
It's like they challenge our whole idea of what it means to be a person.
Right. And that challenge
Yeah.
is what keeps us coming back for more. I like that.
Whether we're like analyzing their genetics or watching how they behave or just being amazed by that bond that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Twins offer us this incredible look into just how complex and beautiful human life really is.
So well said. So for anyone listening who's like expecting twins or raising twins or just totally fascinated by them,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you really want them to take away from this whole deep dive?
I think the most important thing is to approach the world of twins with a sense of curiosity,
Okay.
openness, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a scientist, a parent, or just someone who thinks twins are cool,
Yeah,
just remember that there's always something new to learn about twins
totally.
and more to appreciate about them.
So true. It's so, to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
keep those questions coming, keep exploring all the mysteries of twins,
Yeah.
and most importantly, keep embracing the wonder of human connection in every form it takes.
Absolutely. And if you have any twin tales or burning questions,
Ooh.
don't be shy.
Yeah.
Share them with us.
You never know, it might inspire our next deep dive.
I love that. Well, that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the world of twins.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming on this incredible journey with us.
Of course.
We'll see you next time for another awesome exploration of, well, whatever sparks our curiosity.
That's good.